Hi, welcome to Instructor Live. My name is Sam and this is Pilates for Conditions. Today we're going to be focusing on osteoporosis. So if you have any questions during the session, just type them in and I'll answer them when I can. Otherwise, you can always go to my profile page and then just if you couldn't ask any questions during the session, I'll still be able to answer them after the class. Okay, so with osteoporosis, we want to really focus on trying to get as much strength through the joints, through the body as possible, because we want to support that weakness that we have in the bones. So we're going to do a few different exercises. We're going to go quite slow. Remember, if you're not sure about anything, just stop, pause, wait for me to do the session first, the exercise first, and then you can just copy when you're ready. So let's start with a nice alignment assessment. So you want to get our legs in a nice parallel alignment. So we want to obviously, with osteoporosis, we want to prevent as many falls as possible. So we're going to work a little bit on balance in different positions today, because it's really, really important that you're able to focus and get your proprioception quite good so that we prevent the inevitable breaks if it's quite severe. So spread the toes nice and wide, soften your knees a little bit, draw those abs into the spine. So it's that feeling of drawing your belly button into the spine. You can use a little bit of those glutes, which are your bum cheeks, just to give a little bit of a tuck there. Relax the shoulders from the ears, and you're going to draw the chin in so the back of the neck is long. We don't want to be getting into this kind of posture where we're hanging and we're creating a lot of load in the spine, especially to avoid any fractures in the spine. Okay, right, so we're going to start with a different version of the roll down, okay? Because I'm not sure if you do know, but when we're doing exercises for osteoporosis, you don't want to be doing loaded flexion. It just means kind of bending down, adding a lot of load and hanging from that spine. So we're going to do a different version because we still want to create a little bit of mobility through the spine too. I'm going to give you the side and front version. We'll start with the side version. You're going to open your legs nice and wide. And you're going to just bend your knees a little bit, just so you feel nice and settled in those legs. Then you're going to push your bottom backwards, keeping a nice straight spine. Rest your hands onto those thighs. If you feel that your knees are too knock-kneed, open your legs a bit wider. The wider the better for this, okay? Now, with a straight back, you're going to lean forward, pushing your bum backwards. Then you're going to start from the base of your spine. You're going to tilt the pelvis, which just means you're going to drop your tailbone and then start to roll back up into standing. So I'll do that again. We'll go nice and slow. You're going to bend the knees, push the bum backwards, resting the hands onto the thighs. Lean forward, keeping a straight back. Then, starting from the base of the spine, using your glutes, you're going to squeeze your sitting bones together, tilt the pelvis as you start to straighten up and straighten those legs. Let's do a few more like that. So, bend the legs, push the bum backwards, leaning forward, straight back. Squeeze your bottom cheeks together, tilt the pelvis underneath you. Use your abs to come up into a standing position. I'll do the front version, 2 more. So bend the knees, push the bottom backwards. Lean forward and then squeeze the bottom, tilt the pelvis coming up and standing tall. Last one. And knees bent, bum back, leaning forward, squeeze the glutes, roll back up, and coming into a nice standing position. Keep your legs wide. We're going to just stretch out the body a little bit. So we're going to reach one hand up to the ceiling. Relax the shoulders. Tuck your ribs in. Bring the other hand up to meet it. Then we're going to just, as if we're trying to pull on a rope in each hand. So one's going to pull down as the other reaches up, and then other side. So we're lengthening and stretching out. Often with osteoporosis, because we're so worried about doing certain movements in case we end up breaking something, we get really, really rigid in the body, and we want to try create a little bit more movement, and then lengthen up, and then lengthen up on the other side, and then bring the arms behind the back. Reach the arms up. So I'll give you the side version again. We're going to reach the arms up. Open up that chest. We don't want to become this hunched posture. We want to really lengthen up, get our posture back, lift the chin up a little bit, breathing into that lovely stretch. And then slowly release back. Right, let's stretch out those legs. So, if you need a wall or a chair for support, you can just pop yourself against something. Otherwise, holding onto your ankle. Sometimes we're a little bit tight on the legs and we're not too good with standing on one leg. You're more than welcome to use the support of a wall, or if you struggle to hold onto your foot, just wrap a little tea towel around the ankle and hold the tea towel up. And then over to the other side, stretching through. Try keep your knees together, get a lovely little stretch through the front of the thigh. And then slowly release down. Give those legs a little bit of a shake. We're going to step 1 foot forward. Again, I'll give you the side version. Push the bottom back, abs drawing into the spine, resting the hands onto the knee. Stretching through the back of that thigh, lifting the toes up to the ceiling. Breathing into the stretch. And then coming up over to the other side. And then coming up into standing. Right, so we're going to do some standing balance work. Very, very good exercises to practice on a daily basis just to maintain that core stability. Very, very important for also our posture and our balance. So we'll start hands on the hips, abs drawing into the spine. We're slowly going to pick one leg up into tabletop. Now we're going to open that leg out to the side, so we're working into the side of our glutes as well, and then coming back to center, release back down. That might be a challenge in itself, in which case keep practicing. Don't worry, I can't see you, so if you're wobbling around, that's okay. And then coming back, release back down. We're going to do 2 more each side. Lift the leg, slowly open to the side. Closing back, release back down. Other side. Draw your abs in to lift the leg up, working into the side of that glute and hip. Close, release back down. Right, now we're going to add a little bit more of a challenge now. So we're going to pick one leg up to tabletop. We're going to bring the arms into kind of a Cossack position. If you need the wall support for now, you're more than welcome to rest one hand, but we're going to rotate towards the lifted leg. Again, you can also rest it onto the straight leg if that helps with your balance a bit to start, but we're going to rotate round to one side, drawing your abs into the spine, coming back to center, release back down. If it's too much for your balance at the moment, at least just do the top half of the body just until you get more comfortable. Rotating around, back to center, release back down. 2 more each side. The more you practice, the better you get. So if you're really wobbly at first, don't worry, it's just the body getting used to trying to learn how to realign itself so it can hold its balance a little bit better. Rotating through, back to center, once more each side. Abs drawing in, rotating around. Back to center, lower the leg, other side, keep your shoulders relaxed, and then rotate around. Back to center, release back down. Okay, now, a very good exercise I always give to my osteoporosis clients is just learning how to stand on one leg. But we're going to add a little bit of a challenge. So if you know you're already quite wobbly and need the hand support, just keep it ready at hand. Now we're going to balance on one leg, but we're going to close our eyes. Okay, and we're going to try to do 10 seconds. If you can only do 3, that's fine. We'll work and gradually build up. Again, another great exercise to do and practice at home. So picking one leg up, and then we're going to close our eyes and we're going to balance there, making sure that we're not just collapsing and falling on the floor. You want to really focus on your breathing. If it's easier to rest your foot onto that straight leg, you're more than welcome to do that too till you get used to that balance. And slowly lower the leg, other side, picking the leg up, abs drawing in, closing the eyes and balancing through. Another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and I'm losing my balance. Haven't done this in a while. You see, even Pilates instructors can lose it. And 3, 2, 1, and release back down. Give those legs a good little shake out. Okay, right, now we're going to go down into 4-point kneeling. It's a really good position to work the body in, because what it does is it works and strengthens the wrists. We're going to do a bit of upper body work, and we're also going to work the abs in 4-point kneeling, which are really important for the stability and strengthening of that spine. So to get down, we're going to take one step forward, rest the hands onto the front leg, drop the back knee onto the mat. Curl the toes, so kind of release your toes, bring the other leg down and rest those hands in front of you. So again, especially with this condition, you want to always think about the alignment of the bones in the body. You want to have wrist, elbow and shoulder in line with each other, and the knee and the hip in line. Now, let's try a little bit of balance work to start. So we're going to start by lifting one arm off the floor, and then open the arm out to the side, bring it back and release back down. Other side, and lift the arm, open to the side, back above the head, release back down. Let's do a couple more each side, and then we're going to do the legs. So breathing out. Again, as you're opening the arm and lifting it off the mat, make sure you're not collapsing on the other shoulder. Keep that upper body working. And then other side. Breathing out to lift, open, back above the head, release back down. Other side. Lift, open, back, and release back. Now let's see how we do with the legs. So we're going to straighten one leg out behind us. Make sure you're not twisting in your pelvis. You want to keep both hip bones facing the mat. Open the leg to the side, close back to center, release the leg down. Imagine you balancing a glass of water on the back of the pelvis. You want to keep it level so you don't spill. And you're going to open the other leg to the side, bring it back, release back down. Let's do 3 more each side. Try not to end up collapsing. Use that lift of the chest to hold the upper body in place. Open the leg, close the leg, release back down. Again, you want to have that feeling of drawing your abs into the spine. So it's a feeling of lifting your belly button off your t-shirt. Release back down. And if it's too much on the wrists for now, you're more than welcome to come down onto the elbows. Although this does help to strengthen up the wrists, that's why swimmers tend to have very, very strong wrists, because they're always pushing themselves out of the pool using their hands. And lengthen, open, close, and lower. You can sit back off the wrists if you need to. Get a good little stretch. Breathing into the stretch. And then coming back into 4-point kneeling. Now we're going to combine the arm and the leg movements. So let's start with the leg. Check your pelvis is level. Then opposite arm lifts off the mat. So this may be a bit of a brain exercise. So just take a moment to really focus. And then release back down. Other side. Abs drawing in. Opposite arm and leg lift off the mat. Make sure you're not collapsing on the other shoulder. And then bringing it back. And breathing out. And breathing in. Always use your breath. Breathe out on the effort of the exercise. Breathe in on the release. And lengthen. As you lengthen the arm and leg, abs drawing into the spine. And once more each side. Lift and lower. Other side. and lower, and then walk your hands over to one side, sit down onto those legs and enjoy that nice stretch. So this is no load on your back because you're rested onto your thighs. You're not using gravity to pull you down in your spine, and you're getting a nice stretch on the side of the body. Coming up, walk over to the other side, sitting back, and again, a really good way to stretch out the body if you're particularly stiff. And then slowly coming up, and then back to 4-point kneeling. Now, if you find it's a bit much on the wrists now, you're more than welcome to come down onto your elbows for the next exercise. Okay, so I'll leave it up to you. I'm going to stay on the wrists. Now you're going to curl your toes underneath you. Lift up through the chest so you're not just collapsing onto those shoulders. Abs drawing into the spine. And then we're going to do little knee hovers. So literally just pushing the toes into the floor and lifting the knees. And then lower back down. So this may be a challenge in itself just to lift the knees up, but just practice, use your upper body and your hands and your feet to help push you up. So as you're lifting your knees, you're working your abdominal muscles. Your legs are acting as weights for your abs and to help strengthen up the back. So we're going to do another 5 like that. Breathing out to lift those knees, and then breathing in to release down. So you want to try go down with control. You don't just want to collapse and knock those knees hard onto the floor. Remember, you can always put a cushion underneath the knees if you have a particularly thin mat. You want to always have a slightly thicker mat, especially if you've got osteoporosis. That little extra cushioning in Pilates mats, which are thicker than yoga mats, is always best for any bone conditions because it feels a lot more comfortable on your joints, as well as things like arthritis as well. So 2 more. We're going to lift and lower. Keep the head lifted, breathing out, lift your abs in, hover those legs, and we're going to try hold there for 5 seconds. 4, keep breathing. 3, 2, 1, and release back down. Come off the wrists or elbows, circle them around, get that lovely blood flow going. There's obviously, sometimes with osteoporosis, we have osteoarthritis. So if you've got arthritis in any of your joints, please always just stick to staying on the elbows, especially if you've got arthritis in the wrists. We will be doing other classes for arthritis specifically, so you can have a look at those on the website too. Little reverse stretch. You're going to pull it in, get a nice little stretch through the back of that wrist, and then just give the arms and little wrist shakes there. Okay, right, now what's really important is, especially when we start getting quite a lot into this position because of the pain or any other issues in the spine, we really want to work our back muscles to keep that posture. So we're going to do some back extensions. We're going to start off really slow and then gradually build up, okay? So if you're finding you can't get off the floor, I want you to use a little cushion, and you can just pop it underneath your chest. So if you've got one on your couch now, you can grab that, but just see how you go. We're not going to do a very big exercise to start. Right, so lying down onto your tummy. Okay, now it's all about how you set your pelvis up first. You don't want to end up straining the back when we're meant to be strengthening the back. So if you look at my pelvis now, it's almost as I come up, I've got that kind of kink in the lower back. So you want to try flatten that out a little bit by using your bum muscles and your abdominal muscles. So to do that, you're going to gently almost lift your bum off the floor, and you're going to drop your tailbone between your legs, squeezing the glutes. So it's a little bit of a pelvic tilt, locking the pubic bone into the mat and then lifting the abs off that mat. So let's try that again. We're going to lift the whole pelvis up. We're going to tilt the pelvis, squeeze those glutes, lift your abs off that mat. Now, hands are underneath the head into what we call diamond press position. If you're finding the shoulders are a bit scrunched up, you're more than welcome to open the hands a bit wider so it feels a bit more comfy on those shoulders. So, tilt the pelvis, lift the abs, squeeze those glutes. Then we're going to push up into a diamond press, which just means we're lifting the head and chest off the mat and resting on the rib cage. Now, we're going to do like a little army salute. We're going to salute one hand up to the eyebrow and then lower back down. Other side. Breathing out, lift, and then lower back down. We're going to do 4 more each side. I want you to think about what your pelvis is doing in this movement. As you salute one hand up, make sure you're not lifting the hip off the mat. You want to keep it anchored to the mat. Other side. Breathing out, breathing in. So again, you want to think about the position of your head. You don't want to be dropping down or lifting the chin. Keep the back of the neck long. I'm so sorry. I needed to get that cough out. Other side, we're going to salute, release back down. So as you can see, just holding yourself up off this mat is working those back muscles. You should be feeling them in the mid and upper back. And once more each side. Salute, release. Salute the other hand and hold it there. If you can, keeping your ab support, you're going to lift the other arm up to meet it. If you need to go a bit closer to the mat so that you're not all going in the lower back and just in the upper and mid back, then please do. Holding it there, building up that muscle endurance. Another 5 seconds if you can. 4, 3, keep breathing. 2, 1, and release back down. Wriggle the pelvis from side to side. Should have felt those back muscles working quite nicely there. Now we're going to go just one more exercise for the back, and this really helps to open up those rounded shoulders. Just get that better posture. So we're going to bring the arms down to the sides. Again, tilt that pelvis, get the ab support, use those glutes a little bit to hold the pelvis in place. Then we're going to lift the arms, lift the head and chest. Again, you don't need to lift high off the floor to work your back muscles. And then we're going to do a little side bend. So we're working into the side of the body there. So we're going to reach for the toes, keep your hips on the floor, and then bring it back to center. And reach on the other side, back to center. Make sure when you're doing the side bend, you're not just dropping to the floor. Keep that lift off the mat so you're still working into your back muscles while you're doing the movement. And center. Breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Once more each side, lengthening for the toes and back. Lengthen for the toes on the other side, back. Release down to the mat. Wriggle that pelvis. Should feel really good. Come up again. Use that upper body to push yourself up. Sit back over those legs and just have a lovely little stretch there. Breathing into the back of that spine and into the rib cage. You can bring your arms down to your side and just enjoying that nice little bit of release there. Okay, right, so we're just going to stretch you out because we're coming up to the end of the class now. I just want to release any muscle tension there a little bit, especially in the hamstrings. They can get quite tight sometimes, especially if the back muscles aren't that strong, or the glutes. So we want to make sure that we're getting that blood flow going. So, lying onto your back, get into a nice comfy position. You want to have a feeling of tucking your shoulders away from the ears, getting that nice open sensation through the chest. Straighten one leg along the mat, other leg, you're going to hug it into the chest. Get a lovely little stretch there. Then you're going to place one hand behind the thigh, lift the leg up to the ceiling, breathing into that stretch. Now, sometimes this is a stretch enough for you. If you want a deeper stretch, because we don't want to load, in other words, do too much stress on the spine, you don't want to end up, just watch me first, you don't want to end up curling up into this position, okay? It's going to put too much load there. Obviously, it depends on how severe the osteoporosis is, but if you've got osteoporosis, you don't want to aggravate anything. So you want to just either walk your hands up a little bit closer towards you if you're that flexible. If you're not that flexible but want a deeper stretch, you're more than welcome to use a little tea towel or a little band or a belt. You can pop on the bottom of your foot, and then you can end up holding it and then drawing it into the chest. We do have some stretches in my Pilates for band classes, but again, it's just go for the stretches in that class. Don't do the whole class because it isn't specific to osteoporosis. And then releasing back down. Other side. And hug the leg in. Hands behind the thigh. Reach the leg up. And then just walk the hands as much as the flexibility of the leg will let you. Breathing into that lovely stretch. Try relax your shoulders. Enjoy that bit of blood flowing through the body. And then slowly release that leg down. And then coming up into standing. So you're going to roll to your side. Use your one hand to push yourself up. And then coming up into standing. Again, if you need a chair support or a wall support to help get you off the floor, you can. Right, so I hope if there are any questions and you weren't able to ask them during the session, please go to my profile page and just ask. My name is Sam. And just ask whatever questions, and we will gradually progress and do a few more exercises, because there's loads you can do. Just because you've got osteoporosis doesn't mean you can't really exercise. In fact, you should exercise more. So any questions, remember to write to me. Otherwise, I hope you had a lovely session, and I'll see you next time.